Hey guys, Tommy with Studio Sense here. Happy Valentine's Day. Today's video is kind of sort of a Valentine's video, but much bigger in scope than just Valentine's Day. Today, the fragrances I'm going to be recommending to you guys for romantic getaways, trysts, for couples celebrating their anniversary, any kind of romantic interlude or date night, anything like that. And while these fragrances weren't created exclusively with intimacy in mind, they work perfect for all of those scenarios. They are, in fact, absolutely intoxicating. And when we return, I'm going to share these 10 fragrances with you. You've got that and more coming up, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. This is just going to be a very brief highlighting of what's best about the fragrance or why I'm including it in this list. And then we're going to move on to the next one because I know that you've got a lot more that you want to do with your day. Like a lot of guys, you may have waited to the last minute to get a gift for Valentine's Day. And so you're probably in a hurry right now. She may have said, just get me a card, then that's okay. You don't have to get anything. But she really means get me something. Please, absolutely. Get her something. But regardless of whether you are in a relationship or not, these 10 fragrances have that absolute intoxicating X factor that makes them such great date night picks or romantic interlude kind of colognes. And that is a cologne that you want to wear that creates that intimate bubble, that sillage that is absolutely intoxicating. And when I say intoxicating, I mean when you smell it, your eyes roll to the back of your head and immediately go to the very inner sanctum of your pleasure centers. And you're like, I've never smelled anything like this before. And it kind of transports you, portals you away, takes you away. All 10 of these fragrances do that in their own way. The very first fragrance I want to share with you guys is by Kilian. It is Black Phantom, or Memento Mori. Black Phantom is one of my all-time favorite intoxicating rum-soaked coffee, almond-oriented gourmand fragrances. It's basically like a love story in a bottle. One that is not only tragic, but the hero gets the girl at the end. It's one that you can kind of spin how you want it, but man, you smell Black Phantom one time and you absolutely want to own this fragrance and wear it and have someone smell it on you. And that's what any intoxicating fragrance should aspire to. Black Phantom does it better than most. It's sweet, boozy, boastful, yet very romantic. The sillage trail is amazing on this one. It just goes and goes and doesn't give up until you get the girl. Like most by Kilian, it's not inexpensive, but it's worth every penny. The next intoxicating fragrance I'm recommending for your intimate trysts is actually one from Mugler, and it is Pure Tonka. Now, unfortunately, Pure Tonka isn't that readily available to get, so I'm going to recommend a couple that you can get as alternatives. Now, what I love about Pure Tonka, it is another deep, rich, dark, olfactively grainy kind of fragrance. Lavender, rosemary, cappuccino, but primary player, of course, is that tonka bean because of the name Pure Tonka. It is an overload of sweet, but that sweetness is super meated by the other notes in the fragrance. That the blend is brilliant. One of the best Mugler Angel for Men fragrances. Some alternatives that I can recommend is Rochas Man, because it is also a coffee kind of oriented fragrance. There is also Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo, which is a sweet gourmand tiramisu oriented fragrance. None of them touch Pure Tonka, but they are kind of similar in some of their aspects and make a decent alternative, and they in their own right are also very intoxicating. But Pure Tonka, if you have it, if you're able to use it, you will not regret it, and she won't either. My next intoxicating recommendation that she will love to smell on you is a tobacco-based fragrance, and that is Parfums de Marly's Herod. Herod is an amazing fragrance, and if you like tobacco at all, you will love this. It's one of the best and better known tobacco-oriented fragrances. If you take a peek into the osmanthus pepperwood tobacco, cistus, vanilla, kind of a vertical slice into the DNA, you will see nothing but pure romance there. And it's such a great fragrance in terms of just a light tobacco. And even if she doesn't necessarily like tobacco, she'll like aspects of Herod because it's not a overbearing heavy tobacco. It's more like a light, sweet, honey, vanilla kind of tobacco. And it's a great performing fragrance, as are most of Parfums de Marly's. Oh man, I don't know about you guys, but every time I smell Stronger With You intensely, my eyes roll to the back of my head. That sweet glazed chestnut, pink pepper, that sage, the toffee, is so bright, warm, and inviting. And of course, that heavy vanilla brings that toffee to the foreground. It's a beautiful fragrance. The sillage goes on forever with Stronger With You intensely, just like the name implies. It's a wonderful romantic date night fragrance, but just an all-around great signature scent, especially for cooler weather. Stronger With You intensely by Emporio Armani will not let you down, and she will love it on you. Now, a lot of people have said that there are similarities in this next fragrance that I'm going to recommend, but I see it as vastly different than Stronger With You intensely, even though it too is a gourmand fragrance. In fact, a lot of these that we're talking about today are gourmand fragrances because gourmand are just like, it has this pull, this magnetic pull to your nose, goes straight to the pleasure centers of your brain and just brings out the best in you and in a inclusively romantic situation. This is by Azzaro. It is the most wanted. Stronger With You intensely is kind of a medium kind of toffee. The toffee that we're talking about in the most wanted is a darker, almost lightly burnt. You know how when you're roasting marshmallows and one of them catches on fire, or almost catches on fire, and it gets almost black? That's the kind of lightly burnt roasted toffee note that makes the most wanted a fantastic gourmand fragrance, and it adds to the depth, the breadth, and the longevity of the overall scent profile. The next intoxicating fragrance for your romantic date night, or really just any time that you're meeting someone or talking to someone that you like, is actually one by Valentino. It is Valentino Uomo Intense. What I love about Intense is that combination of black leather and iris. If you don't like iris, you probably won't like this fragrance. It's got that whole lipstick makeup iris, that very Dior Homme Intense kind of iris, but it's a wonderful fragrance because what's different about it than Dior Homme Intense is that black leather. The combination, the duo, the way they work together, the way one polishes the other in a way, and the way that they're combined and they're blended, so supremely intoxicating. There's something very masculine about Valentino Uomo Intense that she will love to smell on you. And trust me, as a date night fragrance, it's hard to get better than Uomo Intense. It's really hard to find something more romantic than the combination of the notes of Neroli and orange blossom. There's something about spring, new beginnings, fresh starts, suddenly meeting someone for the first time and falling head over heels. The chemistry that's involved in that is what makes the combination of Neroli and orange blossom so good in Bulgari Man Wood Neroli. Fantastic fragrance. Now this one is a bit different. It's a little bit of a lighter fragrance. There's the wood in the background, but primarily you're getting that orange blossom and neroli combination right up front. You got white musk, amber, and ambergris in the base to give it that more of a modern feel and more longevity so that it lasts and lasts. Exceptional intoxicating neroli orange blossom combo, Bulgari Man Wood Neroli. The next intoxicating fragrance that makes a great date night fragrance or just everyday signature wear is actually one from Zadig and Voltaire. It's built into the name. It is This Is Love. This Is Love again makes wonderful use of orange blossom and of course sandalwood. It's got one of the best smooth, creamy, milky sandalwood notes in fragrance for men that is still somehow very masculine to smell and masculine to wear. If you want a fragrance that has that whole romantic side to it that's still very masculine, This Is Love Pour Louis by Zadig and Voltaire is a fantastic pick. Whether you're in the fragrance community or not, it's likely not a well-known secret that Dolce & Gabbana's The One, whether it's the Eau de Toilette or Eau de Parfum, is a great date night fragrance. But the one I'm going to recommend in the line is kind of an underutilized gem in my estimation, and one of the best date night fragrances specifically for cooler weather. It is Dolce & Gabbana The One Intense. The One Intense carries that, of course, the one DNA that is extremely romantic, extremely date night worthy. This one has neroli, cypress, cardamom in the open that brings thoughts of romantic escapades right up front. Cashmere, clary sage, and benzoin in the heart, and then black leather and labdanum in the base. Similar to several of these fragrances put together, so it's kind of like getting a 3-in-1, really, and it's the first one that I've talked about that's made use of cashmere. And cashmere is like your favorite sweater in a smell. And it has that whole romantic side to it, just like an autumnal walk where you meet someone by chance and you fall again head over heels. The next intoxicating fragrance is one of my absolute favorite that makes use of Maninka fruit. Now Maninka fruit in the country where it's primarily utilized, people chew it for like 3 days. It's supposed to be an aphrodisiac. And if you don't know what an aphrodisiac is, look it up. It's supposed to improve your love life and help you out when you need help, apparently. But whether it does that or not, it is one of the more romantic notes. It's, again, similar to chocolate covered strawberries to a degree, a little bit dusty, fruity, chocolate overtones, and there's actually cocoa absolute in the base to give you more of a chocolate bearing in the fragrance, and that is the scent Private Accord by Hugo Boss. Private Accord is a fantastic date night fragrance. It is again another signature scent worthy date night fragrance, but it is one of the more intoxicating, heady fragrances. I love the DNA of this. I love smelling it. I love putting it on and wearing it. And she loves, my wife, loves smelling it on me. It's one of her favorite fragrances to smell on me. And so, of course, anytime we have a date night, it's one of the ones that I wear. Absolutely unique in the way that it's put together, and one of the best by Hugo Boss, the scent Private Accord. Well, guys, some honorable mentions really quickly. Light Blue Italian Love, Green Lover by Lolita Lempicka, Ginger Lover by Azzaro, and the very Juniper Berry Tiffany and Love. Of course, because they have love in them, and that's why they're honorable mentions. But they're a little bit more lighter, more springtime worthy fragrances. I know I went through all of these very quickly, and I wanted to recommend them to you very quickly so that you could either go out there and get them, or if you already have them, that you could grab them off the shelf and use them, because they're perfect for date night. They're perfect for romantic situations, or if you just want something intoxicating to wear that will grab people's attention and potentially pull you compliments. All of these will do that. If you own any of them and already have experience, let me know which is your favorite, or if I missed out on one that is a perfect intoxicating date night scent, let us know what that is in the comments below. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming along for the ride today. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. Happy dating out there.